Everything was going according to the plan for Klopp's side, until Ten Hag made some changes when United were down 1-2. So, what exactly did Ten Hag do? Ten Hag initially wanted to target Liverpool's midfielders, as he wanted to leave the heavy lifting to Liverpool's forwards. The point was to disconnect Liverpool's forwards from rest of the team. And to achieve that, Ten Hag divided his defensive tactics into two sections. We'll cover all that in more detail after looking at what all this did to Liverpool, because this led to Ten Hag shifting the balance back into United's favor. Instead of trying to force Liverpool back with their high press like last season at Anfield, Ten Hag focused his defensive tactics on Liverpool's midfielders. Liverpool's midfielders are key when defending and when attacking. So if they were taken out of the game, Liverpool would have to rely on their other players to pick up the slack, which made it very difficult for Liverpool's forwards to coordinate properly. This is why Liverpool's midfielders were targeted right from the get-go. The whole point was to make sure United don't end up playing into Klopp's hands, and so, away from Liverpool's third, United waited until every player was in position and pressed only if the situation called for it, essentially being a lot more cautious than they usually are. This is because Ten Hag found out last season that increasing the intensity of the game too early would allow Liverpool to play through United no matter what United did. But he also learned that timing the intensity switch to when Liverpool had limited options available was quite effective. So for this match, instead of trying to force Liverpool to play a certain way, Ten Hag retained everything that was successful previously and focused on adapting to Klopp's tactics. Which is why United kept going long even on occasions where you would expect Ten Hag's side to play from the back. All because Ten Hag did not want to play into Liverpool's strengths. But Ten Hag still wanted to cut through the press when it was possible, so when on the ball, Dalot in his inverted fullback role stayed beside Maino, freeing McTominay up. On top of making United more organized for quick attacks, this forced Liverpool to press in a different way than expected. Even though United's main focus was to get possession high up by dispossessing Liverpool in their half, they tried to cut through Liverpool's press every time they got on the ball, unless Liverpool's press successfully pushed them back. All this required a calculated approach from the whole team, as any deviation from the original plan would allow Liverpool to hurt United right away. Which is what happened towards the end of the first half, as United ended up playing into Liverpool's hands. As a result, Liverpool took the lead by scoring 2 goals within a few minutes. That said, let's go over United's defensive tactics in detail, as this time it proved to be the game changer when just last season it was the catalyst in their defeat at Anfield. With Rashford coming inside from the left flank into left half space and Garnacho covering the right flank, United were able to commit the 3 midfielders, Bruno, Maino and McTominay, to focus on taking care of Endo, McAllister and Szoboszlai in the middle. So, United's midfielders were tasked to only worry about the middle and the right half space, as Garnacho out wide covered the right flank and left side was covered by Rashford. Since the United's midfielders didn't have a lot of area to cover, they were able to stay close to their targets, making sure Liverpool's midfielders struggled to get involved. This is why Liverpool's defenders had so much time on the ball with no pressure on them. Kwanzaa even managed to run into the box all the way from midfield because of how little United were focused on Liverpool's defenders, compared to their attention on Liverpool's midfielders. Because of this selective focus, United were able to successfully keep Liverpool's midfielders in check for most of the game, leaving the heavy lifting to either Liverpool's defenders or forwards. This is why Liverpool seemed ineffective and in possession, unable to be as ruthless as they usually are. The cautious approach only applied if Liverpool were far away from their third, whereas if Liverpool were close to their own box, Ten Hag wanted to use the high press. Maino's presence in midfield was the reason Ten Hag could do any of this. Maino got involved in the high press and took care of the second balls from direct attempts at the same time. Without him, United would not be able to follow this intricate game plan set up by Ten Hag. The goal was to make it difficult for Liverpool to move the ball around and allow United to get possession in Liverpool's half. This is why, as long as the ball was away from Liverpool's third, United did not worry about pressing with intensity. until Liverpool threatened to either play through or around the defense. The intention was to slowly push them back into their own third and then initiate the high press to force a turnover. And this was done by assigning front 6 players to focus solely on high press, which sometimes left huge gaps in midfield, making it vital for United's midfielders to track back regularly. Hence why Mino was so integral to all this. Bruno was also tasked to focus more on his defensive tasks, allowing United to commit 3 midfielders inside, while Rashford and Garnacho made it possible for United to cover both flanks and compress the field at the same time. If Trent was available, Liverpool would be able to target the right flank, but with Gomez being narrow, United were able to be narrow as well without worrying about the right flank as much. All this ensured United were defensively solid while they disrupted Liverpool's tactics. As a result, United started on a stronger foot and even managed to score their first goal within 10 minutes, resulting from a counterattack after Liverpool overcommitted. The only way Ten Hag could have outplayed Liverpool was by being more defensively solid, instead of trying to outcompete Klopp's tactics with high press. In any meeting between Klopp and Ten Hag before this match, Ten Hag wanted to stop Liverpool from playing their game, but ended up playing into Klopp's hands. This time around, Ten Hag focused on not playing into Klopp's hands, even if it meant letting Liverpool play their game. This is why United allowed Liverpool to be relatively comfortable in possession until Liverpool approached United's third. And although it led to Liverpool's first goal, with Kwanzaa making his way into the final third all by himself, United constantly pressing Liverpool would have been way worse for the Red Devils. On top of that, Ten Hag's insistence on using direct plays in this match, instead of constantly trying to play through Liverpool's press, allowed United to bypass Liverpool's press in key situations. Even then, United tried to play through Liverpool at the end of the first half and ended up conceding another goal as Liverpool took the lead within a few minutes of scoring their first. Going into the second half, Klopp actually managed to put Liverpool in control by tasking his side to focus on exploiting the spaces in between the lines whenever United pressed high. Ten Hag clearly needed to strategize a slightly different game plan than usual, and he did because eventually United took full control of the match. Especially when Ten Hag made the tweak around the 71st minute, when he took off a striker and left back and brought on a right winger and a centre back. With this change, Lindelof became the left back while Rashford became the striker. Garnacho went to the left as Anthony slotted on the right. With Garnacho now being in his preferred position and Rashford also being in his preferred position, with Anthony's introduction to the right, United had newfound strength when it came to pressing, ensuring Liverpool's game plan was still disrupted pretty much all of the second half. This is where Liverpool playing a midweek game just before this comes into play. Liverpool dealing with a lot of injuries made it impossible for them to play with their usual high intensity at all times, and although Liverpool brought on fresh legs with Gakpo, Bradley and Elliot coming in later in the game, Liverpool still seemed more and more lethargic as the game went on. Which is why United timing the high intensity switch was so crucial. It took United until the 87th minute to equalize and send the game to extra time. With United forcing extra time, Liverpool's chances deteriorated even more as United had the fitness and home advantage. However, in the last minutes of the first half of extra time, Elliot takes a shot from distance and against all odds manages to give Liverpool the lead once again. Now, going into the second half of extra time, United had just 15 minutes to get a goal back if they wanted penalties or 2 goals if they wanted to win. 8 minutes before the match ended, Nunez dropped deep to get involved, but ends up getting dispossessed in a dangerous area. United capitalized on that mistake to equalize the score, changing the whole dynamic of the game in an instant. And then in the last minute of the match, Liverpool overcommitted on a corner, overloading United's box. United counterattacked with Garnacho and Amad Diallo leading the charge, which ends in Amad scoring the winner, ensuring United came back and won against their fiercest rivals at the Theatre of Dreams. The match ended with 4 goals to United and 3 to Liverpool, ending Liverpool's aspirations for a quadruple in Klopp's final chapter with Liverpool. And that wraps our journey today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts, and ring that bell to stay updated on all our future content.